Hi, my name is Tanmaya. I am a singer-songwriter, model, and illustrator from Delhi. Firstly, I would really like to thank We Can Do Anything You Do as a platform for giving me this opportunity to talk about something that's really important to me. Most of us are really afraid to talk about mental health in general. So I'm here to share a bit of my story, and hopefully this inspires you to also be able to have the strength to share your story and talk about mental health amongst friends, family. um, yeah so um, it's been many years since my mother was diagnosed with schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a mental illness, really complex mental illness in which the patient loses touch with reality and goes through a lot of hallucinations and etc. So I've grown up with a mother who was mentally ill, and that took a toll on me. Of course, it took a toll on everybody in my family. um, yeah, something that I was really ashamed of when I was younger. Um, I can recall an incident where someone asked me, "Hey, so what does your mother do?" And I responded and I said, "I don't have a mother." And that was only and only because I was conditioned to kind of be ashamed um, of that particular information that I didn't want to tell people. I didn't want to tell my friends or anybody that I knew that well, I do have a mother, but she's mentally ill and she's suffering, and she's not well. So just to avoid that, I used to just be like, I don't have a mother. And now when I think about it, I feel really really bad and I feel really ashamed. But everybody takes time to kind of accept things, right? So it took me a while to accept my mother's illness, and there was because there was a lack of awareness, and just because nobody ever talked about it, even in my immediate family, things were hidden from me because my father thought that it would hurt me, etc., etc. So I somehow found out myself, and I joined the dots, and I was like, okay, so she acts a little strange, so something is wrong. And I obviously turned to the internet to kind of find out what was really happening, and then eventually I got to know that she's schizophrenic. And so this is sort of like my acceptance journey. Um, and um, so 2 years ago, I finally sort of decided that, okay, you know what, I've had enough of this, and I can't really run away from what's actually happening. I've lost my mother to this mental illness, and I really didn't want to take an approach. Of course, I've had my bad days where I was like, why is this happening? And I felt really sad and I felt really depressed. But I sort of pulled myself up out of that, and I decided to talk about it openly, and I decided to find a way to help others, because that is also something that I was looking for. I was looking for help. I was looking for somebody or somewhere who was going through the same thing, so that I could not feel better, but I could just sort of at least talk to that person. So I wrote a Facebook status in which I wrote everything about my mom, and I told everyone that, listen, this is my mom, and she's schizophrenic, and I'd like to see her uh, apart from her illness. And I also sort of called out the people who, especially relatives who never really cared, and who knew something was wrong but they never cared. So that gave me a lot of strength. And then I also put up a YouTube video in which I talked about my mom's illness. And of course, there were so many videos on YouTube which I was surprised where people had actually shared their experiences, and that really helped me to take that step. So I decided I should do that too, and hopefully that would give somebody the strength somewhere, whoever watches that video. And it really did. And so many people from around the world contacted me, and I opened my own support group. And now I have the support group where I have people from all around the world on this tiny little WhatsApp group, and we talk to each other from time to time. So those are the ways that I've tried. Those are the ways that I've found for myself to just keep it together, because it can get really tough. um, Especially when you have to see things that you don't understand. And everyone's mental health is important, especially yours. And to be able to help others, you really need to keep yours under check, and you need to find ways to cope and find things that make you happy. Actually pursue your dreams and your hobbies, and that's exactly what I've done. I turned to music, I turned to songwriting. I wanted to do modeling for a really long time. I did that. I mean, I'm doing that. um, those are the things that I found a release in those things that I love doing. And I just, like, with this video, I just want to say that I know it gets really hard sometimes to deal with situations, and to just find yourself and find a way to cope with difficult things and complex things. But there is a way out, and there is help, and there are people. And of course you're not alone, because I myself have felt really alone, and I thought that I may never ever be able to talk about this, but I found a way to talk about this. And I hope that whoever's watching me and whoever's listening to me, oh shit, you realize too that there is strength within you. And it's okay to talk about these things, because the more you talk about this, the more people will listen. You put it out in the universe, and it'll help you, it'll help so many people. And I would just like to end this video by saying that I started a support group 2 years back, named after my mom, Supriya. I'm based out of Delhi, but this support group only exists on WhatsApp. So I'll mention my email ID, and you can send me an email if you'd like, and we can talk, and we can hopefully help each other out. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for listening.